So, I mean, looking at the poll, the poll suggests a 9 and 8 result in what would be a very close run race. But what are your initial thoughts when you see that?
If the poll is accurate, and let us assume that there is a turnout of 18,000 people go to the polls, 0.5% amounts to about 90 votes. It would be that close. And we haven't had such a close election ever. I have to say that if you had another sample of 600 people, you could get the opposite result. It could be again that close, but in favor of the GSLP, because there is nothing in it. The other factor that has to be taken into account is that you have about an 18% of undecided people. We don't know how they would vote if they were to split their votes along the lines of the main trend. Then the result that I have indicated of an election result decided by a mere 100 votes could well be the case.
Yeah. And, well, you've had a close eye on politics for at least the last 50 years or so. It's this time around we're seeing it's not a clear-cut sort of GSLP above GSD or vice versa. The votes are quite mixed. I mean, what does this tell you, and why has this happened for the first time in more than 50 years?
When you are in government for so long, you tend to lose votes as the years go by. The Spaniards call this desgaste. It's natural. It's happened to the ACR, it happened to Peter Caruana, and it's been happening. There's been a downward trend in the last elections. Last time, the GSLP they won the election with 52%. So it was 48% that didn't vote for them, but that 48% was divided between the GSD and Together Gibraltar. Now, if the downward trend continues and the GSLP Liberals dip below 50%, that would mean that out there is 50 point something that want a change of government. If that had been split, because Together Gibraltar had presented a full lineup, then the GSLP might win with less than 50%. But if that 50 point something is not split and it all goes to the GSD, then the GSD can win the election.
And of course, they could still govern with 9. They wouldn't require the 10 clear-cut majority.
That would be completely new. Nothing like that has happened since the 1960s. Since under the present constitution, we have 10 elected members, it's always been 10-7. Quite definitely 10-7. There were occasions in the 1960s when no party got even a clear-cut majority, when in fact the party winning the election got fewer seats than what they needed for an outright majority. That happened on 2 occasions in the 1960s, in 1964 and in 1969.
So it's been a while. We've still not seen the results. As you say, the only result that matters is on election night. Have you a message for the voters and potential voters of Gibraltar?
The message that I have is that watch the programme that night. It's going to be like nothing that we've ever seen before. The new voting system, I understand, is going to enable GBC to give us a progress report, very much like what we see in the Spanish elections, when we know that after 70% of the vote, this is the situation. Now, we are going to have that for the first time in Gibraltar. I also recommend that this afternoon, Peter Caruana, Fabian Picardo, Joe Bosano and I have recorded a chat between the 4 of us all about the role of the Chief Minister, what has gone on in the past. I think people will enjoy it. We'll see how 4 people who have been in politics, how closely, how well we get on together and how we cooperate and think alike. It's going to be very interesting to see myself once again.
I look forward to watching as well. Thanks very much for joining us.